Okay. Why? This was the question I asked my guides after witnessing you all, myself, collectively. Why does it feel like we've been walking through the fog for years, like something ended long ago, but the new world hasn't finally arrived yet? Why does it feel like we're moving through this constant shadow? And it's like we know joy is coming, but we're unable to shake this heaviness that lingers, right? Let me know if that has felt like you. If you have been feeling this, you are not imagining it, okay? There is a reason the collective has felt stretched, unsettled, and like we're endlessly recalibrating, right? Now, it feels like the collective has been tired and foggy, stretched, overstimulated, and just uneasy. And it feels like we've been doing this for a long time now, okay? And that is because we are in a long transition cycle, okay? Not a short one. This is not a weekend storm, all right? This is a climate shift. So you can think of it like this metaphor, okay? The old world has been dying slowly, we know that. And the new world has been forming slowly. Now you have been living in this overlap, okay? The dissolving in between, and that in between is energetically loud. It's emotionally draining. It is mentally overstimulating. It's spiritually destabilizing. So many things, okay? Our nervous systems are going through it. Our identities are shifting and our timelines are reshaping. And this is why collectively people are saying, I am just exhausted. Okay, nothing feels normal anymore. Why am I always healing and recalibrating? Like it seems to be the thing we are always doing. Why does clarity either never come or it comes in these waves and these trickles? Why do I feel like I'm waiting for something, but it hasn't landed yet? Now, this is not, please know, this is not because nothing is happening, all right? It is because too much is happening at once and your system cannot fully digest it, okay? The collective can't either. And I don't want to put this out there as something negative or wrong or bad. I'm just reading the field on what's coming through right now. So why does it feel like nothing is changing? That is because the old pattern, okay, the old pattern is collapsing internally before it collapses externally, okay? Now you can think of it as a tree rotting from the inside, and maybe rot's not the best metaphor, but it made sense to me. So you keep seeing the same outer shape, okay? But inside, the structure is dissolving. And this creates the illusion of stagnation. This is why people feel this inward collapse, yet this outward sameness. Yeah. Now, because of this seeming mismatch, it equals this unease that we are feeling. And it's not that nothing is changing, it's that the world is changing invisibly first. So why is this uneasiness so constant, right? What you're feeling, I know it feels personal, but it actually isn't. It's this collective overstimulation. It's the human nervous systems saying, hey, we're not actually built for this constant global crisis, this non-stop social stimulation, yeah? This rapid technology acceleration, this disconnection from nature, which my Sasquatch guide Cosmo, I have a channeled message from him and he talks about that too, okay? It's this large scale emotional contagion and we're all feeling each other collectively, which is amplifying, all right? And it's creating this sense of chronic uncertainty. Now, the collective has been in sympathetic activation, all right, fight or flight, for actually quite a long time. Now, this turns into chronic tiredness, okay, the fog, anxiety, detachment, overwhelm. Maybe you feel wired but tired, like you just can't truly rest and relax, okay, this emotional heaviness, this existential unease. Now, like I said, this is not personal. I know it feels like it, and of course it is, but this is a collective. We're doing this together. We're walking through this together. Okay. This is a physiological, all right, and a spiritual compression cycle. And you probably keep finding yourself asking, yeah, cool, but when is it going to end? So I want to answer this really carefully, okay? Not with prediction, not with dates, not with absolutes, but with this energetic field reading of pattern recognition, my human design. I can see the higher perspective of things and the patterns playing out. So with that, what I see is the unease, okay? What we've been navigating ends when the transition completes, all right? It's like, yeah, we know that. And okay, humanity is not at the beginning of this shift. So that is a good thing. All right. We're actually in the middle towards the end, okay? We're in the part where now, yeah, we know the old identities are dissolving. Yes, we know the new identities are forming. Yes, but nothing is fully anchored in yet. We're in this in between void space, aren't we? And it's like being mid-labor. You have had a child, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. It's this mid migration phase. It's this mid metamorphosis. This phase is the hardest. Okay. But please know it's also temporary. Now, this is what you need to hear is that this doesn't all just end at once with a bang. It is ending in layers. Okay. And you're already in these later layers. Okay. You've been doing a lot of internal work. You've been doing a lot in the invisible realms. You've been doing a lot in the astral, in your dream space. Okay. So instead, you know, 1 week or 1 month, maybe that's your mind clearing. Okay. That's the initiation portal for you in that time space. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a few months. I don't know for you specifically, unless you book a reading with me and we can tune in and do a bit of an energetic forecast around this. And you know, another time space, maybe that's your emotions stabilizing. Another time space, your intuition is sharpening. Another time space, your body starts to feel lighter. Okay, this is how collective transitions move. And I believe I spoke to this last week when I said it comes in these waves and it ripples out and it ripples out. Okay, it can feel subtle, I know, but this is sequential and it's layered and it's cyclical and it's cumulative. And then a moment is going to come for you when you realize, oh, I don't actually feel that heaviness anymore. That's how it ends. Okay. Not suddenly, like a light bulb just went off, but surely. So, what is happening right now? Okay. The collective is in this final compression of the old paradigm. Now, we're not at the end. We're definitely not at the end of this globally, but we're at the end of this extreme internal wobble that you have been feeling. Okay, the fatigue many humans are experiencing right now, it's not a warning sign that something is wrong. Again, disclaimer, I am not speaking to this as a medical professional or a psychological professional, mental health, anything like that. This is an energy field read. Okay, so with that, collectively, the fatigue is not a warning. This is a final squeezing out of those identity layers that can't go into 2026. Okay. So you can think of it like the shedding of the last skin, the clearing of the last residue, the collapsing of the old, outdated coping patterns, dissolving of the structures of survival mode. Okay. Now, this is why things may be feeling extra. Yeah. Extra intense because we are nearing the end of a very long cycle. So if you have been feeling heavier, slower, more introspective than usual. You are not alone. I can promise you that. You are actually aligning with the timing of this shift. And what you're feeling is real, okay? But just know it's not permanent. What else do you want to say about that? So yes, we use words like dissolving and, breaking of the patterns and things like that, but you yourself are not breaking down. Collectively, we are breaking open, and it might feel like you're losing energy, but please know nothing is wrong, okay? Everything is reorganizing, and this is why your work, your channel, your transmissions, your guidance, just who you be in this lifetime, okay? Whether you're in a service-based business or not, as a light keeper, this is actually what stabilizes everything for those moving through the fog. Okay, we're doing this together. Okay, now I have a message from Cosmo. First of all, I just want to let you know if you have been feeling this shift and if you are sensing that this final compression is preparing you for something softer and clearer and more abundant, there is a reason for that, because December isn't just about the end of this 9-year cycle, okay? It's the opening of a new rhythm in your field, a gentler one, yeah? A truer one and a more magical one. And that is exactly why I created 12 Days of Magic and Miracles. We start December 8th, and together every day for 12 days, we're going to move through daily money spirit transmissions, wealth-filled attunements, energetic recalibrations, money consciousness upgrades, frequency alignments, and channel guidance to prepare you for 2026. Each day is a key, okay? The link is going to be below. Each transmission is a shift, and each alignment is a doorway into the version of you who receives with more ease, okay? So if you have been hearing the call to really stabilize your frequency, and if you've been craving a more softer place to land into December's joy timeline, which I will talk about maybe next week, and if you've been ready to close the year clean and step into 26 with more power, then this is your portal, okay? You can enter the temple. The link is below, and you can step into 12 days of magic and miracles with me inside our Telegram container. You'll know if this is yours. The details will be below. And now, let's see what Cosmo has to say about all of this. Let me just take a sip of water. Close it down. Okay, let's have a look here. Whew. So, now this is interesting. With the rise of AI technology, many of you are fearful. You are beginning to wonder what is real, what is not. Can you be replicated? Is your privacy no longer your privacy? And we say this to you. What is truly yours can never be taken away. And he's really talking about your own essence and your soul. Yes, energy can be harvested, but also, yes, we are sovereign beings, remembering how powerful we are, and we get to call our own energy back. Okay, we get to disconnect from those siphon energies, from those matrix codings and all the things. If you need more support with that, feel free to comment below about booking a session, okay? So, you have the discernment within you to choose what to place your focus and awareness on. If you are feeling flat, heavy, or confused, get off social media, okay? Even just for one day or 1 week, if you can. Give yourself this gift of a washout period so that you may see clearly, okay? See from a different perspective, a higher perspective, and come back to your own energy field. That's a key, all right? Whew. At the moment, for many humans, your fields are filled with bot energy, false matrix overlays, borrowed fears and emotional imprints that are simply not yours. Well, they weren't yours, but now they are yours to take responsibility for. Okay, once something is lodged in your field, it's now your responsibility to deal with that. That's what he means there. So I said, okay, well, how do we stop this? And he said, well, obviously, I'm so glad you asked. There are two streams of humans. There are two streams of humans when we talk about this, stopping this energy, okay, and dealing with this energy. The first one is the solution seeker. You are the ones who will not rest on your laurels, as you like to say. You have excellent discernment and are hyper willing to take radical responsibility for your reality. You understand energy on a level, whatever that level is for you, and you understand that not all you experience is yours. However, you are willing to step forward and take responsibility for your own part in these collective energies and processes. The shadow side to this is that you can become over responsible, thinking you have to do this all the time, do this for everyone, save the world. Who resonates with that? Now, the second type is the more helpless ones, and we don't say this with any judgment here, okay? You see life happening to you over and over and again and again. You've dropped into a cycle exactly where the matrix wants you, okay? And although there is no blame or shame ever, there is a deeper invitation to take ownership for your life, okay? This looks like no blaming, shaming, or drama making. Yes, even when we look at the governments, the politics, the organizations, for this is not the frequencies of the new earth you so long for. Okay? I said, all right, beautiful, that lands. So what now? What's next? And Cosmo said, we give you the simple yet required answer. Go back to your roots. Simplify your life. Be in nature. Let the Earth Mother cradle you and hold you. If you live in the cities and the suburbs, make the effort. If you cannot make the effort, use your imagination and travel into the forests, for your imagination is real. And the Earth holds the keys. And we, the Sasquatch people, as the guardians of the keys, are here to support you in this process of returning home to your truth and to your roots. Okay? Oh, chills! Let me know how that lands. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this. 12 Days of Magic and Miracles. Link is below in the description. If you enjoyed this energy update, like, share, subscribe, all the things. And if you're looking for deeper support as you navigate these energies, just feel to reach out and we can talk about booking a session. I'll pop my email below. Okay? I'm sending you so much love and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye.